What up, YouTube? Before we start the video, we got a very important announcement for you.
That's right, we have our new milestone giveaway for 2,000 subscribers. That is a CGC 9.8 graded Thor #1. This cover is a Nick Klein sketch variant that is also signed by Donnie Cates.
What? Are you crazy? Yes, we are. When we hit 2,000 subs, we're giving away this bad boy. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and give us a like. It would be much appreciated because we want to give this away, but we only can do that when we hit 2,000 subs. Let's get to the video. What is a skibbity toilet? Like,
I don't know. And why would Ohio, of all places, have Riz?
Well, no, like... Ohio, I think, is bad and Riz is good. So I think when you say Ohio Riz, it's like it cancels each other out, I think.
Then what's the purpose of even saying that?
What's the purpose of any of it? What's the, like, skibbity toilet? Like, what does that even mean?
Right. I don't know.
Okay, cool. What up, comic fam? I'm Jim.
I'm Nate.
And we are Two Fat Guys Pull-Ups. We've got another new comic day video for you for the week of November 27th. It is the last... Is it the last? It's the last new comic book day for November.
Yes.
It's a stacked week. I think we've got some good books. I don't think there's one book where I'm like, nah. Well, actually there is, and I'm not reading it. So we'll just get right into it. Let's jump over to Independence. We're kicking up a Napalm Lullaby, issue number 7. It feels like it's been a while since we've had this book.
August.
Okay, so it has been. And I remember the just shit going down. Shit was going down in the previous issue. I believe our female protagonist had completely lost her shit and was now just like devolving the dream state into reality. And I know that sounds confusing, and it's because it is.
Because it is, but it's great.
But it's great. And Remender is on fire. And I will be honest. I think that this is going to be another week of both of us trying to figure out what our soul patois is, and I think it's going to be incredibly impossible.
It's going to be difficult. The cliffhanger, or like the surprise at the end of the previous issue, was very great.
Yeah.
And so I'm very curious where we're gonna go with them having family tied into this. Like, what was she like? She's like an angel, or she's an angel, right? Or she's like a defender.
I don't remember. I just remember like whenever, just don't get attached, right? Like we've had at least 2, if not 3 family members just get their heads blown off. So I know everyone is related.
Yes.
That's all I can. That's all. Literally, I just remember her going berserk and just.
If you're confused, watch us live so we can explain it to you once we've reread everything.
And we'll still be confused. All right, next up, we've got also from Image, we got Ultra Mega from James Herron, issue number 7. It's a pricey book, and each issue, I will say, when we got reintroduced in issue 5 to Ultra Mega, all of us were like, huh? Right? But it was still amazing because the artwork is just fantastic. And as we continue to go down this corridor of Ultra Mega, we are slowly getting a grip of what Herron is trying to show us. And I said it's going to be hard for me to figure out what my patois is, and this is also in the running on art alone. But I also love the premise of the book. We're dealing with, it sounds like, bad Ultra Megas. We're dealing with the monsters. We're dealing with the mother of demons. Like, it is all over the place, and I love it. It's like Akira on fucking crack.
Yeah, this is one I'm gonna let you take the lead on. It's gonna be a lot of effort to get caught back up on this one. So
look, on the cover, there is a ball of buttholes climbing over cars. Like that. If that doesn't tell you this is patois, I don't know what else.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Ball of buttholes.
Speaking of ball of buttholes, we got Frankenstein, issue number 4 from Michael Walsh. This has also been a very great book. I say it every time it comes on. It's a classic with a Michael Walsh twist, and it's a very subtle slice of Walsh on here, to the point where, like, if you're not familiar with Michael Walsh, then you probably are just reading this going like, oh, this is just a Frankenstein. This is another Frankenstein book. But there's just these subtle hints to his writing style, to his art style, that just reminds you of previous works from Michael Walsh.
Mhm.
And I think that's why I like this series. I mean, again, it's his take on a classic, and there's just these little twists and turns that kind of just make you like envious of the fact that he's not writing Silvercoin.
Well, yeah. No, I think even if you haven't read Michael Walsh, though, I think you're gonna get a little bit more out of this story just because, but because he is using his style to tell not only a story that's kind of unique to his style, but also to the Frankenstein mythos in general. We're seeing things a little bit more at a bird's eye view instead of
Mm-hmm.
just like following the monster around and stuff.
Yeah.
I love the way that each body part that the Frankenstein has, the monster has, like is taking on at least some type of personality
Mm-hmm.
from the previous person, and that really came evident in the last issue when the heart of
Mm-hmm.
that guy that professed his love to
Yeah.
Frankenstein's wife and basically that stopped the monster from attacking her. So
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought the last issue was my pick of the week, so I'm very
No,
stoked for this one.
the attention to detail in Frankenstein is what makes it like that. Just puts it over the top. I think the
Mhm.
writing is great, the art is great, but that again, that attention to detail with this subtle move towards these body parts having a story of their own, I think is probably the piece of resistance for
Mhm.
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Let's move on to Void Rivals, issue number 14 from Robert Kirkman. You know, the involvement of these two races and the Transformers just gets intertwined more and more every issue. You know, we are spinning towards a potential, or not a potential, like Hot Rod will be making an appearance very soon. So I would assume we're going to get more panels of him in this book. I
Mhm.
think we're going to get more unraveling and understanding of what the hell is really going on with both of these planets, these two rivaling species, and why they're beckoning the call of Unicron. Um, that just doesn't make sense. It's like, hey, Galactus, come over here and eat my planet. Like, what? Why? What's the point? So I think that's where we're headed. If I were to put it into context for people that read Marvel.
Yeah, I have high expectations for this issue,
Mm-hmm.
just because we finally got what I've been waiting for last issue, or got a more abundance of it, which is like the backstory, the lore, like the looking under, behind the cover of what we're really doing here. Because like
Right.
the plot with our main characters, here has obviously been the big thing that's driving everything. Derek is back next to his people, and that's kind of like what's pushing the narrative forward. But honestly, like what is really interesting to me is this idea of these people that are split and split on purpose, but we don't know exactly why.
Mm-hmm.
This goddess that's some people are still, worshiping, and the others are people are just completely ignoring her, and just all of this background stuff. We got a lot of that last issue, and we're gonna need more of it because
Mm-hmm.
Void Rivals is good. It's a good book, and I'm gonna keep reading it. But like, this is the stuff, and it being tied to Energon Universe is keeping a lot of readers on.
Mm-hmm.
And so like we've been doing this for over a year now. Like, let's make sure we understand like what the goal is here, like where we're really going.
I think as we continue to add more and more books to the Void Rival Energon universe, like we need there to be some cohesion. And I think we're getting it, but like you said, we need more of it and we need it now.
Yeah.
What's that? What's that? It's my money and I need it now.
J.G. Wentworth.
All right, let's jump over to DC. We're going to kick it off with Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 2 from Kelly Thompson. This, I mean, issue
So
1
excited.
was so good. Issue 1 was just like, yep, this is what I need. This is what I've been looking for when it comes to DC Comics. And I'm sure that will continue here with Kelly Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that Wonder Woman just has this big ass sword, like, I don't know. She just looks like a badass. She feels like a badass. She acts like a badass. This is badass. So again, it's going to be hard, I think, for me to pick a patois, and I'm putting Absolute Wonder Woman in that category because it's
no doubt.
it just blew my expectations out of the water. So
It is my most anticipated of the week.
I like that. Ooh, is that a new category? Do we have a new category?
Most anticipated book of the week. Here it is.
What's the abbreviation?
Um, Mabwa.
Mabwa.
Mabwa. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
My Mabwa. All right, let's keep going. Next up, we have Detective Comics issue 1091 from Taylor.
Yeah. So honestly, I really enjoyed the previous issue, which I wasn't feeling quite so on to Tom Taylor lately. Not, I mean, he's great, but like, just there was Nightwing fizzled out, and so I was like, do I want to jump into another like 40, what might be a 40 issue run Tom Taylor thing? And I was like, yeah, he earns a read, especially with Mikhail Janet on the art, and it was great. Like, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Some people kind of think that Batman stories should be Batman. I always really enjoy when the detective comics book is more of a detective, and it seems like, at least for right this second, that's the direction that we're going. It felt like, I mean, it's just one issue, but it felt like what I wanted from Batman that I haven't gotten in a while from either detective. No, Ron V's run was great, phenomenal, but it was experimental and unique, and so like this feels not like a back to our roots, but like a back to a certain style of dark detective story.
All right. I get it. Not reading it, but I get
it. No, well, people make mistakes.
I know.
That's what it is.
It is what it is.
You're also not reading Something's Killing Children, which is the greatest.
Okay, next up we have Justice League Unlimited issue number 1 from Mark Waid and Dan Mora. There was a little bit of controversy, and there might still be with Waid saying that he may be kind of falling out of favor in writing comics. So, we may be seeing the last glimpse of Mark Waid writing DC books. I hope that's not the case, because when he does write books, I tend to really enjoy them. I was really having a lot of fun with his Batman Superman
World's
Finest book. But I have fallen out of favor with it, and it just is, I think, it had a good run. But this has got me excited. I think that if there's one thing that doesn't have me excited about this book, it is the featurette of Hush 2 Prelude. I could give two shits about that. Sorry if that hurts anybody that's reading DC's feelings, but I am looking forward to the book. I think, this idea that the Justice League can be a revolving door of superheroes, and it just doesn't have to be the Trinity. It can be, it can be anyone. I think that's a great move by DC, especially with me not knowing, and I'm taking it more personal here, knowing a lot of other DC non-A-list characters. So like to get them in and to get a rapport, and I'm sure that there will be plenty of like, oh, you know who this is? Then go read them. I'm sure that'll happen. That's a classic DC move. That's just what they do really well, even if it's annoying. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a silly goose time.
Yeah, and I think the creative team is probably the biggest drive for me picking this up. I will say, and you kind of mentioned part of it briefly here, but like, I was quite so I first, when I was like looking for this in solicitations, I passed over it 3 times because I thought what I was looking at on this cover here was either like I thought it was like a children's comic book, or like a free comic book day. It is really poorly laid out. The Justice League font is childlike to me.
Yeah.
The banner at the bottom is very distracting. It's a very cluttered cover, and then we've also got the huge all-in-one. It's such a minor thing, but like I literally passed over this book multiple times, actively looking for it.
Yeah,
because of this cover.
I think it has all to do with. I do agree with you. Like the new Justice League logo, I'm not a fan of it. I think it's too, like, it's flat yet still kind of dynamic at the same time, to the point where it's like fighting with itself. I know we're getting into a critique now, but I think the biggest thing for me is the Unlimited. It feels, and maybe it's my association with Marvel and their Unlimited line, which is basically a vertical and
that's free scrolling. Exactly what it is, and I couldn't grasp it. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. It's I think it's our association with Marvel and those comics, which are like very no words, more artwork driven, and what's the word I'm looking for? It's more catered towards the way you read it, which is on a tablet or on a phone. So you're scrolling. So like there's a lot of space. And I think that's what, but I do agree. I think the cover itself is also kind of, it's like cluttered, but not, it's simple, but it's not like it's, I think the book's going to be fine though. I think it'll be okay. Unless DC does that thing where they literally like every fucking page has got to go read this to find out why this happened. You know, don't do that, please. I hate that crap. Hey, I'm interrupting the video. It's only because I've got something really important to tell you. I know you know what we're giving away when we hit 2,000 subscribers. I gotta let you know about what we're giving away when we hit 1,250 subscribers. We're giving away this Uncanny X-Men #1 signed by Jim Chung, CGC grade 9.8. When we hit 1,250 subscribers, you could potentially win this, but you have to be subscribed to our channel. So hit that sub button, ring that bell, and give us a like. Let's get back to the video, shall we? All right, let's jump over to Marvel, and we're going to kick it off with The Incredible Hulk, issue number 19 from Philip Kennedy Johnson and Nick Klein. It is the 800th legacy issue and the 19th issue. Yay.
Money. I'm still excited. You know, obviously like the 800 issue and all the extra stuff is not necessarily really what has got me excited, but I don't know. I just there's something about this story that still compels me. Obviously, a little bit of I'm a Philip Kennedy Johnson homer, and I'm just going to read his books. But like, I feel like we're on the cusp of all of this starting to come together. Maybe I'm just being hopeful. However, looking at the other parts of this book too, I do like the other creative team. We've got Jeff Shaw, who was doing a few of the issues with Donny Cates, and of course he's the one that did like God Country and stuff like that. Benjamin Percy's got a story. Torun Grumbeck's got a story. So there's enough meat on the bone here for me to keep going.
Not for me. I will let you take the lead on this one and let me know how bad of a mistake I made for not picking it up. But I'm just kind of done. I think my enthusiasm for Hulk has petered out. I have lost all my gamma. It is gone.
No more gamma.
No more gamma. Next up, we have Ultimate Black Panther issue number 10. This from Hill has been just a great time. Much like the Absolute, even though they're just starting off, the Ultimate line over at Marvel is just firing on all cylinders, in my opinion. Even though we're getting other books where we're like diving into even more niche characters, and I'm usually a proponent of that. But because the Ultimate line has just been so good, I mean, you could literally throw pretty much anything in front of me with Ultimates right now, and I'd probably read it, at least give it one issue.
Oh, no doubt.
So this book has been a foundational pillar within the Ultimate Universe. And I don't know, like I just like the take, you know, I feel a betrayal coming. So we'll see, you know, if that actually comes to fruition. If it's going to be somebody, I'm either putting it on Black Panther's wife, I think, who is Okoye, or I'm going to go ahead and say maybe Storm. I get a vibe, and maybe that's intentional, but I get a vibe that she just doesn't care. Like, she's like, why are we doing this? And I feel like she may be a little bit more power hungry than that's being led on. That is purely speculation, though. I know that I do believe there is a betrayal coming, though. I will say that.
This is one I need to get caught up on. I'm going to really try, but I'm 5 issues behind.
Oh, shit. That's heavy.
It's the one like big book that I haven't caught up on.
Yeah, I mean, if you can find the time, go for it. If not, I totally understand.
Yeah.
All right, next up. Ooh, the Uncanny X-Men issue number 6. This is my
anticipated pick of the week.
It's my patois. Let's be absolutely honest. Like, I know I've been saying, like, maybe. No, this is my patois.
You don't know.
No, I know, and I will tell you why. This cover alone. I absolutely adore this cover. If it's slice of life and we're following these students, I'm fucking in. I'm in. And I think, you know, like, you like the character that is the embodiment of death, and I like that. I like all the characters. I think they're all great. But the one character who has the stutter, who's holding the apple, that face right there is just the seal for me. Like, that reminds me of like slice of life animes.
That reminds me of what's her name? Emily from Strange Academy, the main girl. Reminds me of her.
Strange Academy. Strange Academy. Oh yeah, I was like,
Academy.
is that a TV show or a comic? That's a comic. Yeah, I don't know. This run has been so much fun, and it is the X-Men book. I truly believe that this is the actual X-Men book, the main book in the line. It just is. It's doing all the heavy lifting without taking any responsibility. That's how I would characterize this book. Gail Simone is just doing an amazing job, and I'm gonna say it right now. I'm gonna I'm gonna try to speak it into existence, or please reach out to her. I want Gail Simone on Secret Origin. I want us to talk to her and really just dive deep. Maybe I'll reach out to her on Blue Sky because she's very heavy on Blue Sky right now. I think a lot of comic book creators are. Yeah, but I would love to just get her on and get her perspective on this book and just more insight, because this book is amazing. I mean, this book is essentially taking the place of my She-Hulk withdrawals. I mean, gotta be honest.
I'm still on it. It's good, but it's still mutant. So,
oh my god, Jesus!
I totally agree with you though. Like, if this is a slice of life sort of thing going on here, obviously this is just a filler issue, but because the next issue is the crossover. But like, if that's what this issue is, totally on board.
Gimme. Mm-hmm. All right, our last book of the night, West Coast Avengers from Gary Jerry. I was hesitant. I will be absolutely honest with you. When this book got announced, and it was actually kind of teased in Gary Jerry's end of his Iron Man run, and I was like, really? That's what we're gonna do? Right. And part of it was me not liking the fact that Iron Man is on the West Coast and he's also on the Avengers team in this Mysterium suit, but then he's got his own book where he's going steampunk, but then he's over here in West Coast Avengers. So if I can just drop all that bullshit, then I think I'm going to enjoy this book. What I really like is the team that we have here. We've just been informed that Hank Pym is alive. Spoilers, out of Moon Knight. So I think Ultron being on this team is even more important. I do like the team of Iron Man, War Machine, Ultron, Spider-Woman, and Starfire. And then I got to play, my bias. Iron Man is in his red and silver triangle suit. Mm-hmm. I love that suit.
It's a dope suit.
Like our first Christmas on this show, you ended up giving me the first appearance issue, which is up on my wall. Like, I love it. And then if the covers stay like this, I think this cover is beautiful.
Yeah, this is a good cover. There's actually a lot of good covers for this one, but this one is the main one's still the best.
Yeah. So again, we know that Tony and Rhodes are basically putting a team out in the West Coast of Avengers, and some of, whether it's they're on the team or they're kind of rehabilitating and they're using villains, if you will, on the team. So like, there's going to be, I think, a Suicide Squad-esque element to the book.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a 50-50 shot that this book's going to be good or bad, and I'm willing to give it a shot.
Mm-hmm. Totally. And if you're the collecting comic type, there will be a full first appearance. Is what they say of a new character, Blue Bolt. So
okay, all right.
Yeah, he's one of the reformed people that's joined.
Interesting. All right, so there's some weight here. There's some actual weight here.
Yeah.
Excited. All right, that's going to do it for this week's New Comic Day video for the week of November 27th. Let us know down in the comments. What are you picking up today? What are you reading first? What's your potential pick of the week? Make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and give us a like. It'd be much appreciated, as we're on the road to 1,250 subscribers, but we can't do it without your help. So if you're not already subscribed, hit that sub button, ring the bell, and give us a like. Also, to let you guys know, a new episode of Secret Origin is dropping tomorrow, Wednesday at 7 o'clock in the morning, Central Standard Time, where I interviewed a comic book writer named Kevin Garcia. He's a great guy. I will now consider him a friend of the show, who wrote or used to write in the Marvel handbook guides. I'm sure I'm butchering that. Essentially just giving backstory and history to all the characters in the Marvel Universe. And he also has some independent comics that are coming out or are already out, whether via Kickstarter or at Scout Comics. I would invite you to go check that out tomorrow at 7 o'clock or anytime you want to. I'm really enjoying the Secret Origin series. We have another interview lined up with the writer of the current Storm run coming next Wednesday. And we're hoping to just land more, I think the biggest thing that I'm wanting to get to is I want to get an artist on the show here soon, just so we can get that perspective. We've had content creators, we've had podcasters, we've had writers. We haven't gotten a comic book artist in yet. So I will try. Also, we'll reach out to Ron and see if we can get anybody to jump on as an artist and get that perspective, because I'm itching for it. As always, we will be live this Sunday, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, where we'll talk about all these books and more. It seems like we've figured out my internet problem. So we had a pretty successful stream last week. So hopefully we can keep that run going. So fingers crossed. So it'll be a good time. So as always, comic fan, be kind to one another and read more comics. Later.